What is good, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to another review. This is not your average sneakerhead, Tony Ramsey, and today we are taking a look at the Air Jordan 4 Fire Red. Now, before we jump into the review, if this is your first time here, thank you for watching. Also, welcome to all the new subscribers. We are doing a giveaway once we hit 500 subscribers. We are extremely close to that mark. We'll probably hit that mark by the end of this weekend, so we'll be able to do that giveaway sometime next week. And all you have to do to enter into the giveaway is 1, subscribe to the channel, 2, leave this video a thumbs up, and 3, comment down below. You can comment anything you want. You can comment dope shoes, you can comment that you hate them, just any comment you want below, and you will be entered into that giveaway. Thank you guys again for watching, and I look forward to you guys joining the Not Your Average Sneakerhead family. Let's go ahead and jump into some details about this here sneaker. Now, the Air Jordan 4 Fire Red is set to release worldwide on November 28th. Nike in the sneakers app did have a shock drop earlier this week on Tuesday, I want to say October 27th, I believe, and I was able to hit these on the sneakers app. I actually hit a pair of these in my true size, the size 8.5. I also hit a pair in a size 6 and a pair for my toddler. I was really lucky to get all 3 of those, and it looks like a lot of people actually did secure pairs of these, which isn't bad, but we'll get into some more details about that here in a second. But let's look at some details about this sneaker here first. If you're not familiar, the Air Jordan 4 Fire Red is one of the 4 OG colorways of the Air Jordan 4. You had the white cement 4s, you had the black cement 4s, and you also had the Fire Red 4s, this one right here, and the military blue 4s. This is why this one has that iconic Nike Air on the back of it. But this is one of the original OG colorways, and this is the first time this actual colorway has released with the Nike Air on the back since 1989, which is why this is probably one of the most anticipated sneakers of 2020 so far, and which is why I think this sneaker is going to be one that you're going to see and hear a lot about over the next few months. First thing we'll start off with is the materials. We'll start off here at the toe box. So I'll go ahead and remove the cardboard shoe tree so we can see just how this this leather on this Air Jordan 4 looks. And to be completely honest with you, the images and the pictures that Nike has on these don't do these much justice. They look much better in hand. Looking at the toe box, you have a smooth white leather on the toe box, and this leather is actually extremely soft. So depending on whether or not you like soft leather, I will give you guys a heads up that softer leather does crease easier, but it also is easier to get the creases out of them. That, to me, softer leather looks so much better when you wear them, and I think the sneaker is going to wear really well. It's very similar to the leather that we got on, I don't want to say the Air Jordan 4 What Does that came out earlier this year, but the leather on this one is just, it reminds me of the leather we got on the Air Jordan 5 Fire Red Silver Tone that came out earlier this year. And this has very similar leather, very similar feeling to it. It's very, very soft. Looking at the rest of the upper, so as you guys can see from the side profile of the sneaker, the Air Jordan 4 has a primary all leather upper with the three primary color blocking on the sneaker is white, black, and fire red. You have hints of fire red as an accent all along the sneaker, which is why these are called the fire reds, of course. Starting here at the edge of the toe box, so for the midsole there, you do have that fire red midsole, and you do have some red stitching along the midsole. Then we look at the lateral side, you do have some white leather paneling along that lateral side there. Then over this part right here, this is also in leather, and this one doesn't feel quite as stiff as the lower panel of leather, and you do have that one leather piece right there that goes all the way around. Then moving up the lateral side, you do have the black wings that's right here, and this part is to lock your foot down, because these were primarily a basketball shoe before they became a lifestyle model, of course, and that provides lockdown when you are hooping in these. More details about the lateral side, you do have this black painted part of the midsole right there. I think these are called mud guards is what people like to call them. And you do have a little black part of it sticking up right here, right behind the part of the red midsole right there. Now the Air Jordan 4 was the second Jordan model to have the exposed air bubble. The Air Jordan 3 was the first one. Of course, the sneaker was designed by Tinker Hatfield, and he brought that exposed air to the Jordan line, which is one of the reasons why Jordan ended up sticking with Nike. So you can thank Tinker Hatfield for turning Jordan brand into what it is today. At the back of the sneaker, you do have that black tab on the back with the Nike Air there in the fire red, and this is that plastic back tab. So one thing to keep in mind, that if you do wear these with very low socks, sometimes this little tab does dig into your Achilles, but I would honestly suggest wearing longer socks with these. These look great with long socks or with jeans. Looking at the medial side, you do have some more paneling there, another Wings logo here for lockdown, and I also did not mention the netting right here on the lateral and the medial side. And that netting is to provide more ventilation for the sneaker, because the sneaker, with being all leather, can get pretty warm when you're hooping in them, and that does help to provide some ventilation, and also does provide a nice look to it. One thing also keep in mind, that with older models of Jordan 4, sometimes this netting can yellow. I've heard they use different paint now, so it prevents it from turning yellow nearly as fast, but time will tell with these, as these did just come out in 2020, so you probably wouldn't see these get too worn for quite some time, although people have been customizing their sneakers to look more worn. Me personally, I like to just go ahead and have them be worn naturally and get that natural edge look to them. Looking at the tongue, you do have some more netting there on the tongue. You do have flat white laces. On the tongue, you do have a red Jumpman with the word flight written under it. And on the back of the tongue, a lot of people became more familiar with this with the Union 4s that recently released. You do have the upside down Air Jordan tag there, because back in the day, people used to actually flip this that tongue tab down to have the Air Jordan exposed. And Tinker really did develop it to be upside down. I don't know if he anticipated people would be wearing it that way, but that's how it ended up working. Something else that's a little bit different about this Jordan 4 is pretty much how the tongue is cut. So with other Jordan 4s in the past, you didn't have where it was very smooth right here on the top. You could still see some of the lining on top of the tongue, but this one, it has it finished to where you cannot see the red lining on top of the tongue at all. Let me grab one of the other Jordan 4s I picked up this year so you guys can see the difference. So this is the Jordan 4 PSG that released a few weeks ago. I did pick these up as well. There's a review of these up on my channel, but you guys can see how from the front profile, you can see a little bit of that Bordeaux fabric on the top of the tongue. Whereas with the fire red, all you see is the white, unless you look at it from the back, then you can see the red line. The entire inside, the entire lining of the sneaker is lined in red. You guys can see that. You do have a black insole with the red Nike Air branding on it. The insole does come out. I mentioned this in my other PSG review, that it's always funny to me when you get these polyurethane insoles in Jordan 4s. They always have that they're branded for an Air Jordan 11, and you guys see that there. It has the size on it. It does have this little pass. So if you were looking to get these legit checked, this is kind of how your insole should look when you take it out, and this is how the inside of the sneaker should look as well once you take the insole out. So you guys can use that as reference for legit checking your sneakers. Now we'll move on to the outsole of the sneaker. So you do have your typical Jordan 4 outsole. It does have the herringbone traction. You have Nike branding in the middle of the outsole with the Nike in the swoosh. You do have a hit of fire red right here in the middle, some white pods in the front, and then a gray traction at the rear of the sneaker. The Air Jordan 4s, actually, from what I've heard, is that they're a really good basketball shoe. I've never hooped in Jordan 4s personally. I just have Jordan 4s to rock casually, but from what I heard back in the day, these were a pretty good basketball shoe. They're a little bit heavy. It's probably why I like them better for a lifestyle, but I can definitely see these being a shoe that will perform pretty well on the court, at least back in those times. Let's talk about sizing for Jordan 4s. So for me, with Jordan 4s, I always go true to size. I will always recommend going true to size for a sneaker in most cases, as if the sneaker might be a little bit too big, you can always throw an extra insole in there or wear extra socks, rather than if you went down a half size. These probably would fit you really snug, and I think going true to size with these, you have enough width in the shoe in case you have a wider foot, and you have enough room there in the toe box, and the toe box is pretty wide, that these should fit you pretty well by going true to size, and that's what I would recommend. Last but not least, let's talk about the resale value for this Jordan 4 Fire Red. Now with these releasing about a month early, some people thought that they would have a pretty high resale value before the actual release, but as I mentioned, I think a lot of people were actually able to pick these up early from the sneakers app, and right now they're going for right around $250 in most sizes. You might find someone that'll give you $300 for these for a little bit early, but to me, I think that 250 is right around the right range for the sneaker, as it's not a collaboration sneaker. It is an OG sneaker, but a lot of newer sneakerheads probably won't appreciate the OG vibes of the sneaker as much as someone else. Someone like me, I was around when these first recently dropped back in 1989. I remember the sneaker coming out back then, and that's why I was so hyped to grab this in my collection. But you might have someone younger that probably really doesn't care about most of the OG factors about the sneaker. They just want it either because it's hype or because there's going to be a lot of buzz around it. So the resale value being right around $250 isn't bad. These did have a retail price of $200. So after shipping and taxes, you're probably into the shoe about $225 to $230 or so. Selling it for $250, you're not going to make any real money unless you sold it locally. But other than that, this would be a good long-term hold sneaker, because as we've seen with OG Jordan models, they typically tend to go up pretty well over time. So this would be one that if you did pick up a few pairs of these for an investment, you might be best off sitting on these for about a year or a couple years or so. Before I forget, let's also take a look at the box. So as I mentioned, I got these right off the Sneakers app. I did an unboxing on my Instagram profile, so I'll go ahead and link that down below as well, so you guys can follow me there for any unboxings that I do get in. But you do have your typical black box here. You have the red Jumpman and the Flight on the top, and the sizing label reads white, fire red, black, and tech gray. I mentioned I got these in an 8.5, which is my true size, and the retail price was $200. There's the label, so you guys can use that to maybe legit check yours when yours come in. It is a slide top box, or cement splatter paper, I should say, inside of the box. There's some white paper underneath it, and I don't see no stamps or stickers otherwise inside the box. So that's how your box should look when it comes in. Let's take a look at the left shoe as well. So the left shoe is pretty much a mirror image of the right shoe, but the left shoe does come with this OG Nike Air hang tag on it. Now this is a little bit thinner than the original Nike Air hang tag, but it is a nice touch to have it included with the sneaker. No extra laces come with these sneakers as well. And this Nike Air hang tag, you can take it off if you want to, put it on as a keychain, or just leave it hanging on the shoe if you want to stunt with them out that way. Personally, I'm gonna take them off when I rock them, but I can see why people would want to wear them just for that nostalgia purpose. So those are most of the major details about the Air Jordan 4 Fire Red. Just want to give you guys a quick early look in case you guys did hit on these or still waiting for them to come in, or if you are planning to pick these up on Black Friday when they do have their wider release. I think there will be a ton of pairs of these, so you shouldn't have any issue grabbing these if you do really want them. But let's go ahead and get these both laced up, get them on foot, and show you guys how they look. There you have it. That's been my review of the Air Jordan 4 Fire Red 2020. Let me know what you guys think about this sneaker down in the comment section below. Is this one that you were excited to grab? Did you hit on the shock drop, which really wasn't a shock drop because everybody knew about it? Me personally, I have no problem with a lot of people knowing about a shock drop, especially because Nike even sent you out an alert when they were dropping. So it gave a lot of people a chance to grab the sneakers that really wanted them. And if you were lucky enough, congratulations. If not, you shouldn't have any problem grabbing these when they do release wider on Black Friday, November 28th, as I do think there will be a ton of pairs of these. That's going to do it for my review. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Again, we are doing a giveaway once we hit 500 subscribers. I think we might actually be there by the time this video ends, so sometime next week I will announce the winner for that giveaway. All you have to do to be entered is, remember, 1, subscribe to the channel, 2, like this video, 3, leave a comment down below, and I'm going to be picking a winner out of the comment section and get you out a $50 gift card to the sneaker store of your choice. So good luck to anyone that enters. Thank you guys again for watching my review. This has been Not Your Average Sneakerhead, Tony Ramsey, and I'll catch you guys on my next one. Peace.